How's the serenity? Nothing beats an escape to the country. But you know what makes it just that little bit better? Access to a four-wheel drive. We're on the Great Dividing Range, 2 hours southwest of Brisbane, at a private property called Gordon Country. For the next few days, this is a four-wheel driver's playground as the Motorama 4x4 More Club host one of their tag-along weekends. Motorama customers are given the chance to really get to know their vehicles under expert guidance. So, if the aim of the game is to get real in your four-wheel drive, the Playpen is a good place to start. I'm keen to give this course a go, and seeing as most of the four-wheel driving I've done has been on the beach, Darren from Motorama has jumped in to help me take on this tricky terrain.
What we're going to do here now, so we'll stay in first gear, so we really want to hold up on this hill. This is probably the steepest hill you're ever going to go down, okay? So it's a pretty sheer drop. Just take everything off and just let the car do everything it needs to do.
So she's in first, it's in rock.
Yep.
Let's roll.
And it's hill descent controls on.
You just keep pointing straight?
Yep. Just down here, let it go.
Everything's off, wow.
Let it go.
The car is just driving.
Yep. And it's just holding you there.
That's impressive.
Knowing the car's capabilities is key, but that's not the only thing to keep in mind. David Brickhill from Cooper Tyres has joined us to share some tyre tips.
We're going through all different types of terrain, from creeks to hills to descents. How important is it to have the right tyre on the right vehicle?
Oh, I think it's like anything. You've got to have the right equipment. So, that starts off with the car, and of course the main part that contacts the road all the times we've talked about in the past is always the tyres. So some people out here are driving, they're sort of what we call sometimes mum's taxis. So therefore, they're probably coming out here, and just about any four-wheel drive tyre will adhere to those terrains. But then when we get to the more extreme stuff, so like some mud crawling and getting up some of those rock faces that later on in the weekend that these guys will be doing, that's when you're going to want something a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more open tread.
And when you hit the dirt roads, there's some important things to remember for a smooth ride.
When we get here, we've got to down-pressurise our tyres too. So out here on a weekend like this, you'd be looking at running anywhere between 22 to maybe 24 PSI. And that gives the tyre a nice section where it can actually roll over rocks. It's a softer ride, it's a little bit easier to drive around on. But the biggest thing is to remember is when you're heading home is to make sure you put those tyre pressures back up. There's no point driving home on 24 or 26 PSI with the kids in the back. It's just not safe.
James has brought his kids along for the ride this weekend. And as a bonus, he gets to put his newly fitted ST Max tyres through their paces.
So James, how long have you had your four-wheel drive?
Oh, I've had this one for 2 years.
Yep.
It's the third one we've owned.
Yep.
But yeah, 2 years and absolutely loving it.
Have you done anything like this before, like the tag along we're about to go on now? Have you done any of that sort of stuff?
I've done a one-day tag along, which was to Double Island Point, to the beach, and most of the four-wheel driving we've done has been on the beach.
Yep.
When I became aware of it, I jumped at the chance.
Like James, a lot of people attend these tag-alongs to test their vehicles. But the rocky terrain can also test your patience as well as your partners.
You get thrown around a bit. Harry! My God! Don't do that again, you'll break something.
Luckily, at the end of the day, there's a chance to cool off around the campfire. It makes for a great spot to share some laughs and enjoy dinner in good company.
You know what, I think it's the perfect time to sit around this campfire. We'll toast some marshmallows and we'll tell some stories about today's adventure. What do you think? Yeah. We'll catch you guys after the break to find out what tomorrow brings. Get in there, Toad. Oh, it's hot. Oh, there you go.